Elles Bailey.
Thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
We are very, very privileged. It's interesting that we're sitting here now talking because I've heard quite a lot about you.
Yeah.
We both have. And first of all, before we get into this EP that's just been put out, I wonder if we could talk a little bit about where your voice came from, because there's a lot of people talking about it. So what is the story with that?
When I was younger, I got very ill. I contracted viral and bacterial pneumonia, and to keep me alive, surgeons had to put a tube down my throat, and I was on life support for 17 days. And then, I started to get a little bit better, and then I started talking again. And my parents were like, where's this husky voice come from? And so they took me to see a voice specialist, and he said, do you know what, actually, there's nothing wrong. But if she's a singer, she'll be great at singing the blues.
You, in a strange way, grateful for that experience. Obviously, it can't have been much fun at the time, but you have got a voice now that people are talking about, and we can hear that voice in some of the songs that you've recorded recently. So, as I understand it, I have heard the EP briefly. Sounds fantastic, by the way. You went into the studio and recorded 4 tracks with Brian Banks.
Yeah.
So where did you do that, and what was that like?
Yeah, so we went into the studio, recorded 4 tracks with producer Brian Banks and my band, and we went into Modern World Studios in Tetbury and recorded these tracks. And what was really great about the recording experience was that the band recorded everything live. We only overdubbed the sort of guitar solos, extra guitar track, a little bit of organ here and there. So it was really great to have this sort of really live feel. 4 tracks on the EP. You've got Who Am I to Me, Take Me Back, Heart Go Ooh and Howling Wolf. Yeah, Who Am I to Me is it's a really personal song. At times I felt like I was having an inward battle with myself. It's written first about losing yourself a bit, kind of losing who you are. In sort of all aspects of life. The song is powerful, and it's what I really like about it is, although the lyrics are very soul-searching and sort of introvert almost, I wrote the track as with a very driving force, and it's quite upbeat and confident. 'Cause baby, how can I know for sure?
Take Me Back is equally confident but very much more soulful, and it's a more pensive state, and shows perhaps a different side to your artistry.
Take Me Back, it is an outright love song, and it's sort of written in 2 parts. The front of it is about being in a relationship that's going incredibly well, and then suddenly, the relationship isn't going very well, and neither of us know what we're doing. If you're honest, then everything else is going to come with it.
It's kind of, I hear it as a fairly bluesy song, but you've done a very unique thing with it. You've given it your own spin, and I'm just wondering, are you paying some kind of respect to the people who've influenced you?
Yeah, so Howling Wolf, completely, it's a tribute. It's written about a really cool record label, Chess Records, and the just amazing artists on that prolific label. People like Howling Wolf, the title of the song, and Muddy Waters, Willie Dixon, all these really cool people. Etta James, she's such a massive influence on me, on my voice, and I wanted to write Howling Wolf kind of tapping into all of those influences and those sounds, but then to take that bluesy, like really raw sound, but make it my own.
But he was a singer, he always sang the blues. Walter was the harpist, he had nothing to lose. Willie was the bass man who wrote those famous tunes, but on smokestacks in the backyard, howling at the moon. Wow, wow.
Heart Go Ooh, it's about seeing someone from across the room, falling in lust, knowing that there's something more than actually, hey, just checking someone out across the room. I wrote that song just sitting in my lounge with my terrible beat up guitar.
I took one step left, then another right, before I knew where you were standing there. You knew what I was thinking, pulled my strings like a puppeteer. And the brush of your lips lit my spark, burning heat, I was seeing stars. This time it feels different. You make my heart go ooh, ooh, ooh. You make my heart go ooh, ooh,
I did meet someone on tour, and I was just chatting to him after the show, and he was like, that's all the music that I was listening to when I was younger. Going out on tour, especially playing new music that they may not have heard before. And the crowd's reaction was just amazing. People loved it, and it was great to sort of have that feedback. It feeds into everything that you're doing about the whole point of all of this. I mean, that's what it's all about, taking it to the fans. And I tend to write a lot of my bluesy tracks on the guitar, so I just sit and play the guitar as much as possible. And if you're playing and rehearsing and practicing, then you're writing as well, because it just comes. I want to be a part of all of, sort of, from the writing process all the way through to having a say in the production. And you know, a lot of the songs that I write, I'll flesh it out a bit, and I'll then take it to someone, and we'll have a bit of a co-writing session. I have my producer Brian Banks, and we co-write together as well, and this whole project has been a collaboration between the two of us. There's nothing better than getting up with your band, going on tour, delivering something that you've put your heart and soul into.